If you're asking this question, this is a really exciting moment for you because you are getting in the shoes of your learners and you have decided that your learners want micro-learning pieces or learning bites that we talk about in other videos on this channel about microlearning. Today, we are going to dig into how to create microlearning. We do recommend that you check out the other videos on our YouTube channel about microlearning. We actually have them all in a playlist for you so you can easily dig into all the different pieces of microlearning. All those learning bites about learning bites. Welcome to the eLearning Simplified YouTube channel. We are so excited that you're here because it just shows that you are taking your e-learning and microlearning seriously because you truly care about your learners and providing value to them every time. This YouTube channel is all about simplifying e-learning, online courses, and virtual training development and the launch process for you. We want it to be as easy as possible for you. That's why we started this channel. I am Johnny Havey, one of the co-founders of eLearning Partners, and we created this channel for you. So today, how do you create microlearning? Well, if you like the answer we give you, you should give this course a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. So step one is map out big picture. The big problem most people and businesses run into when they're developing microlearning is they think too small too quickly. When really all you have to do is start with the big picture. Write out the full curriculum that you know. Don't force a full curriculum, but you really just want to brain dump the big picture. Map out or brain dump the big picture. What is it? What are you teaching? What is every part of what you're teaching? And get that into an outline. So we recommend mapping out the big picture on an outline. So put that here. Really, you are just creating an outline of the big picture. Step two, estimate how many hours of content you have. So estimate length of big picture. Once you've mapped out that big picture, you need to come up with how long, how much content do you believe you mapped out? What's in that outline? It doesn't need to be exact, but if you have a 3-page outline, you should be able to come up with, oh, well, this looks like 5 hours of content. I wish we could give you an estimate for how many pages an outline equals in content, but everyone builds outlines differently. Okay, some people are very detailed with their outlines. Some people are very high level with their outlines. However you did it, there's not a perfect math equation from a page of outline content equals X amount of minutes or hours. So wish I could give that to you, but I can't see your outline right now, so I can't. But what you can do is really look at, okay, so how many topics are on that page? So really look at how many topics do you have? Okay. And then ask yourself, how many subtopics do I have? And really, the subtopics is where we're really getting into the micro piece here. So what you want to do is look at, okay, I have 30 subtopics. Great. You are really close to figuring out how many micro learnings you're going to create. But really what you're going to focus on when How Do You Create Microlearning, is you're focusing on these subtopics. So a good estimate of how long you want the subtopics to be is 10 minutes or less. It should take you 10 minutes or less to teach each subtopic. So now you can start doing some math. If you have 30 subtopics, then you'd be looking at 30 times 10 equals 300 minutes divided by 60 equals 5 hours. There you go, 5 hours of content. Like we said, the biggest mistake people make when they're looking at microlearning is they're like, I want to create something micro. I know it needs to be small. I know it needs to be 10 minutes or less, or 15 minutes or less, or 20 minutes or less. How do we do this? It's hard. It is hard to think about it that way, which is why map out the big picture, look at the subtopics, and the cool thing is you have 30 microlearnings that are 10 minutes each. Your total content may be 5 hours, but that's the thing. That's the fallacy of microlearning, is microlearning builds upon each other. So the total output can be way more than 10 minutes. But the learning bites, those subtopics, are what need to be micro, and they support that 5 hour big picture piece of content that you are creating. Now, if you are looking at just creating a couple microlearnings, the cool thing is you've already built out the big picture outline. You've broken it down into topics, subtopics. You figured out that you have 5 total hours of content. Well, if your goal in the first place was to only build 30 minutes of content for your microlearnings, well, now all you have to do is step 3, pick highest priority topics or subtopics. Remember, you don't have to cover everything. Microlearning is micro for a reason. You're only supposed to focus on one topic at a time. So if you have this massive topic and you're trying to create 10 minutes of content on it, and you break it down and there's 30 subtopics, well, that main topic you had was probably too big. Or what you really need to focus on is an overview piece of content that doesn't go very deep, that doesn't go nearly as deep as your outline, and do 10 minutes on the overview, which would basically be 10 minutes on the outline you put together. Very high level. But this is the cool thing. We've helped a lot of clients with this. We just finished some work recently with the CDC, and what we were doing was building out microlearnings on different pieces related to the COVID-19 vaccines. And it was really interesting because the reality is there's so much you can cover, so much. But when you're looking at a microlearning, and they were really only looking at building out 30 minutes of content. So we, even within that 30 minutes of content, built out 7 microlearnings. So 7 pieces of content that made up that 30 minutes. But at first, we had this big picture mapped out, and it was a ton of stuff. And then we did exactly this. We picked the highest priority of the subtopics that we outlined out. And that's what you need to do too. But just remember, you can create microlearning and still create 5 hours of content, 10 hours of content, 100 hours of content. It's not about the total hours of content. It's about the learning bites, the little pieces of content that make up the whole. So you can still build a large program. We've done this before too, where we have built out hundreds and hundreds of hours of content, but it just ends up being thousands of microlearnings, and that's okay. The definition of microlearning is a learning bite that is based on the attention span of your learner. That's all it is. So you can have 1,000 learning bites that make up a 100-hour program, and it could be looked at as microlearning. Because it's about the learning unit, not the program as a whole. But if you are trying to put out one piece of microlearning to the world, to your learners, that's when, look at all this, you prioritize, you pick the highest priority topics. Now, if you want to learn more about how to pick those highest priority topics, because now you have everything mapped out, how do you pick the highest priority topics? We did this with the CDC as well. We took those topics and we sent them to our learners, our target market that is learning from us, and we asked them what they wanted to learn. So you may be wondering, how do I make sure that I am building my microlearning on the right highest priority subtopics? Well, that's why we have a free masterclass for you. It is linked in the description below this video. And what this masterclass does is it helps you guarantee the success of your e-learning program, online course, or virtual training every time, the development and the launch. And what we go through in this masterclass is specifically how to make sure that you are defining your learners exactly who they are and the topics that they want to learn, the topics, the subtopics, etc. We go through a scalable process that you can use in order to do that every time. So every time you want to create a microlearning, you can go through this step-by-step process. So check out the free masterclass below. You will get instant access when you click that link. Now remember, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel, or if you want more e-learning simplified content weekly, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next week. If you have ever had to complete some sort of training, maybe it was training that you had to complete when you started a new job. Maybe there was a course or part of a course that you had to sit through an hour, 2-hour long video or lecture in high school, in college, wherever, that you just started to zone out. Maybe you're starting to zone out in this video right now. Whatever it is, that is why microlearning even exists.